C.A. Swanson and Sons of Omaha, Nebraska, packers of America's best-known brand of canned and frozen poultry, presents the exciting television game, The Name's the Same. Now, let's meet our panel of famous names. Co-author of the Broadway hit Guys and Dolls, Abe Burrows. Famous radio and television actress, Joan Alexander. Famous radio and television personality and master of ceremonies of his own quiz show, Winner Take All, Bill Cullen. And your host and moderator, another famous name, Robert Hugh Lewis.
Hi there, and welcome to The Name's the Same. Tonight, once again, you're going to meet some people who have very famous names. Names the same as famous celebrities, well-known places, and things that we all know. And tonight, as always, it's up to our trio of experts to figure out those famous names by a process of cross-examination. Start things off, let's meet our first guest with a famous name. How do you do, my dear? May I ask where you're from?
New York.
New York City, and
That's
you, what do you do?
I'm a cashier.
A cashier?
That's
Good. Well, we're glad to welcome you. Have any loot with you?
No.
None at all. All right. If you don't mind, I'm going to refer to you now as Miss X, just so we don't give away your name by accident. And let's let our home audience see this lady's famous name. All right, panel, it's up to you to cross-examine Miss X to see if you can determine her famous name. You're competing with one another to see who guesses her famous name first. The losers pay. You have 10 questions apiece, and if you use up your questions, you lose, and you must pay our contestant your check for $25. Miss X, you will answer yes or no, and answer as if you were the famous person whose name you bear. All right?
Yeah.
All right, let's start off with Bill Cullen. Bill?
All right. Are you a performer in show business, Miss X?
Yes.
Are you a unique performer?
Well, Bill, almost every performer is unique. What do you mean by unique?
Well, is there anything outstanding about her at all?
Say there was? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, I'd say there was something outstanding about her.
Do you possibly perform on television?
No.
Have you been on the stage or in the movies?
Yes.
Yes? Mm-hmm.
Would I, for instance, be likely to be a fan of yours?
Yes.
Knowing Bill, I think so. Yes.
Well, are you famous for more than just one thing?
No. I would say one thing was about what this lady was famous for, one particular thing.
Well, I think I better pass here to Abe Burrows. Abe?
Are you what is known as a dish?
Do you know what he means when he says dish?
Yeah.
I mean a dish, you know?
Yeah. I think so, Abe.
yeah.
A real dish.
Are you a young dish?
Oh, now you're going to be real embarrassing, you know.
Young. Why, young, you know, young.
Well, you mean young or young?
I mean, young.
Well, I'll let you answer that.
I mean,
Miss X.
not, you know, let's divide up the dishes. It's young. There's young.
This is a main course, all right?
Well, there's very young, you know. That's,
Yeah.
you know, young. Marilyn Monroe is very young, you know.
Uh-huh.
What's
Then
Shirley
that-
Temple?
Then there's then there's middle-aged dish, and then there's cockeyed liars.
Well, let's say, Abe, I guess we'll have to say a sort of non-appearing middle-aged dish.
What? Non what?
Non-appearing.
Appearing?
That middle-aged dish, it don't look like a middle-aged dish. How's that?
Uh-huh. I get it. All right.
I am, too.
Are you a leading lady in pictures?
No.
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 No. Do you play character parts?
Well, yeah, I suppose.
Nah. Why are you such thing? You act like I'm a dentist. Are you a woman, by the way?
Yes.
All right. Do you play comedy parts?
No.
He doesn't seem to agree with
That's
you.
all right. That's fine. This lady is fine.
I'll pass.
That's I was hoping. Joan, go
Have
ahead.
you ever been in vaudeville?
Yes.
Have you done a single?
Yes.
Do you use anything with your act?
Yes.
Is this something that you use, an inanimate object? Or objects?
Yes.
Are you a blonde?
Yes.
Did you appear at the Chicago World's Fair?
Yes.
And you're right, Bill Cullen sure would be one of your fans. Are you Sally Rand?
Yes.
That's right. Very good. And, of course, she's not really a middle-aged dish at all. She's just a dish, Abe. A real dish.
It really is a dish.
Miss Rand, thank you very much. Joni, you've won. So, Abe, Bill, write out your checks for $25. Miss Rand, I'll ask you to go over there to pick them up. And thank you so much from the Swanson people for playing The Name's the Same. Nice to see you, Ernest. All right, let's meet our next guest with a famous name. All right, sir, may I ask where you hail from?
Middletown, Connecticut.
Middletown, Connecticut, all right. And what do you do?
I'm a laboratory technician at Hamilton Standard. That's a division of United Aircraft.
Fine. You got all the plugs in. We're all
yeah,
done.
we're all set.
All right. Well, we know you've got a famous name. We're all anxious to take a look at it. Let's let our home audience see this gentleman's famous name. All right, panel, once again, you got a problem. This is the gentleman's name. You remember how we play our game. You each have 10 questions. Mr. X, you'll answer yes or no as if you were the person whose name you bear. If you panelists run out of questions, you lose, and you pay Mr. X your check for $25. Abe, will you start this round?
I was curious about the laugh when people saw your name. This name is evidently an unusual name for a fella to have. The laugh you get when you tell people that that's your name, you know, you're a laboratory technician, work with dignified scientists, I assume. The laugh you get, is it a laugh of honest humor or is it a ho like that? Is it
I'd say honest humor.
Real honest humor?
Real honest humor.
Right. Are you a human being?
No. Or am I?
The man is a laboratory technician. You should explain to him what's a human being.
Go on, Abe.
Is he a human being? I didn't.
You got your answer.
No, I didn't. Didn't hear an answer. He kind of hesitated and looked at you, Bob.
I said no. I thought maybe I would be contradicted.
No, you're not a human being.
You see, there's an element of doubt. You see, if a guy is not a human being, he may be a human being. This could be a radio announcer for him. You're not a human being. Are you an animate object?
No.
Are you animate? Life. Do you have life? Are you
No.
no life?
We're getting into a very dangerous situation
Well, watch it. I'll ask
here,
him one
Abe.
question, clear the
All
whole
right.
thing up. Are you fictional character?
Yes.
As a fictional character, are you a human being?
Yes.
Had me worried for a while there, Dr. Burroughs.
I pass. I got a husband, my question. Husband, that's husband. I got a husband, my question.
Johnny?
Are you a man as this fictional character?
Yes, I am.
Are you the hero of a book or a play or something?
No, I am not.
You are
No.
not.
No.
Are you a character in a comic strip?
Yes.
You are? This kills me. I never know anything.
Oh, but you always guess them.
No, I don't.
I never know anything. So why do I spend all the money? If
You are a character in a comic strip. Golly. Is this an old, established comic strip?
Yes.
Yes, very definitely.
It is.
Mhm.
Are you an attractive character in this comic strip?
No, I would say not.
Well, no, I guess not in the
Not-
sense
not-
not attractive to you particularly, Joan.
Are you the leading character in the comic strip? Is the comic strip named after you?
No, it is.
Are you in the news? Daily News?
No.
Journal?
Nope.
No.
You're running
You
down.
can go through the rest of the
You
paper.
have only two cards, Bill.
But are you in the Mirror?
Yes.
Yes.
That's good, because I only knew one other paper. You're not the hero in it. Are you a villain by any chance?
No.
Are you a support to the hero?
Yes.
And everybody laughed. I'm trying to think. Are you by any chance Mickey Finn's Uncle Phil?
No.
Or any chance Phil Finn's Uncle Mickey? The fella that you were with in the comic strip, is he a very athletic fella with freckles on his shoulders?
With freckles on his shoulders?
Yeah, because he's always running around in his underdrawers, the fella I'm thinking of.
I assume so. I never looked.
Very high.
Is the fella that you're in the comic strip with, is he Joe Palooka by any chance?
Yes, he is.
Oh, the name. Are you Nobby Walsh?
Nobby Walsh.
Very good.
Very good, Freckles. All right, Mr. Walsh, we thank you very much. Joan, Abe, write out your checks for $25. Mr. Walsh, we'll ask you to go over there to pick them up, and thanks so much from the Swanson people for playing the names the same.
Thank you.
Freckles on his shoulders. And now we come to the I'd Like to Be portion of our program. And here to play I'd Like to Be with us is the well-known actor of stage and screen, currently on Broadway in the four-poster, Mr. Burgess Meredith. Well, welcome to the Names the Same. Mr. Meredith has to run from here over to the theater to entertain another wonderful house, packed house, I understand, at the four-poster.
I don't want to be late even for you.
All right. Well, we'd like our panel to go to work on you, Miss Meredith. Naturally, they can't guess your name since we all know who you are.
Very good, aren't they? I just want...
They have been tonight. Yes, they have.
They won't be on this.
All right, good. Before the show started, Burgess Meredith told us who he might like to be, just in fun, of course, if he weren't himself. And panel, we'll see if you can determine who that person is in just a moment. All right, now we're set to play I'd Like to Be. Our panel's going to try to determine who it is Buzz Meredith would like to be if he were not himself. Let's let our home audience see that famous name. I think it's a darn good one. All right, panel, we played the same as before, and the loser's checks will go to Burgess Meredith's favorite charity. Let's start this round with Bill Cullen.
Well, Burgess, from the looks of the coat at the beginning, I know that's part of your costume in the four-poster, but I was wondering with the coat if you wanted to be the manager of the Forest Lawn Cemetery. Burgess, the person you want to be, is it a living person?
It is?
Is that person in show business?
No.
Is the person in the field of politics?
Yes.
Well, in a vague sense. Huh?
Most politicians are pretty vague.
Yeah.
Is the person, Bob said in a vague sense, so I'm going to assume. All right, I'll ask the question.
Well, it's more honest to say yes than not. I want to be honest with you.
Are you accusing our MC of being dishonest? He is dishonest.
Robert Q. dishonest. This person that you'd like to be, this person that you'd like to be, Burgess, were they elected to the position they now hold?
No.
Were they appointed to that position?
No.
Did they reach that position by divine right?
Yes.
Whee!
4 questions.
Is that person in one of the romance countries? I assume they're not in America if it's divine right.
No, not in one of the romances.
Is it in England, by any chance?
Yes, it's in England.
Couldn't want to be Princess Elizabeth.
I don't know why not. I'd like to be Princess.
Who in England would they like to be? I'm going to pass Dave Burrows because I can't think of an Englishman.
Well, it's in England, and we dismiss Princess Elizabeth. Is this person you want to be... when you said politics vaguely, I assume and said by divine right, that means royalty. So you want to be somebody in the royal family. Is this somebody you want to be...
Is that a question?
Well, no,
Abe, this is one of Abe's favorite habits.
It's shaking.
Boss, I'm just confused by that crazy coat, man.
This is recapitulation.
So you said divine right, that means royal. So you want to be a member of the British royal family. Now, is this member of the British royal family you want to be older than you?
No.
Now, let me see. Is he younger than... It is a man. It is a man.
Yes, it's a man.
Is he younger than you?
Yes.
Yes.
So British royal family. Now, let's dig this. Younger than you. I know the members of the royal family. They're almost all older than you. Wait. There's only one.
Thanks.
Wait. Now, Princess Elizabeth has a son. Queen Elizabeth, she is now.
She got there in a hurry, but I'm glad she made it tonight.
I would like to
worried.
apologize to the entire British Empire.
I was a little
Bill
bit
Cullen
worried.
just says royal family. I should say John Reed King. But, all right, she has a son. Would you want to... What's his name? He has no hair.
This is Abe's specialty. Anyone
Prince-
without hair, he
Yeah,
knows.
he's a prince. Prince Charles. Do you want to be Prince Charles?
Yeah, that's right. Very good. Bonnie Prince Charles. You're honest with it.
Yes.
All right, Joan, Bill, write out your checks for $25. Mr. Meredith will ask you to go over there to pick them up, and thanks a million from the Swanson
All
people
right,
for playing the
thank you.
names the same.
You got it.
All right, now let's meet our next guest with a famous name. How are you, sir? All right, please don't tell me your name. Tell us, please, where you're from.
I come from Quincy, Massachusetts.
Quincy, very good. And what do you do up there, sir?
I work in the wool business.
In the wool business. All right, before we play our game, let's let our home audience see this gentleman's famous name. All right, now you remember how we play our game, panel and Mr. X. I think you by now know our rules. Let me tell you, panel, that Mr. X's name represents an action. An action. Now, with that piece of help, let's start off with Joan Alexander.
Help.
That was the darndest...
Wasn't it? You think I was going to come up with
Go
something,
ahead.
but I'm not.
No.
Do I know how to do this action?
Yes.
Could I make a living doing this?
No.
I doubt that very much,
I couldn't.
Joan.
Well, in that case, would you say that I could do it for fun and relaxation?
I would say very definitely, yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Don't look at me.
Do you move around when you do this?
Yes.
Yes, uh-huh.
Is it done to music?
Very definitely, yes, it can be. Uh-huh.
It is done to music.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Would it be done in a fancy place, like, for instance, the Waldorf Astoria?
Yes.
Very comfortably, yes, uh-huh.
Well, on a Saturday night, for instance.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, on a Saturday night?
Oh, yes.
What was I going to say? I said on a Saturday night,
Yes.
for instance, and he said yes.
Could you do this action?
Oh, well, I meant, would you find people all over the country doing it on a Saturday night?
Yes, it's
Yes.
it's one of those customs.
Well, it's what I'm thinking. If Abe and I were to go out for an evening to do this.
Yes, if Abe and you were to go out. Is that
That's so hysterical. If
I
Abe
think
and
they would go... Don't be upset. I think they were just laughing at the thought of you and me going out.
If Abe and I were to do this, would he wear a tuxedo?
You better... I don't know what it is.
Not Abe. You've got one question. You've got one question left, Joe.
I've only got one question?
Only one
I'm
question.
very informal.
Oh, I pass.
All right, Bill.
Thanks.
Go.
Do some famous men, I'm going to take a new tack. Some very famous men know how to do this particular thing particularly well.
Yes.
Yes, I would say that famous men did it rather well.
Men in Washington, D.C.
Yes.
Yes, indeed.
Has President Truman ever done this on the floor in Congress before? Obviously not what I'm thinking.
Well, now, of course, you know, there's an election coming up. I imagine that, I imagine he has. I imagine he has at one time or another, yes. With all due respect, of course, yes, I imagine he has.
Has Margaret ever done it on the radio?
You mean while she was on the radio? Has she done it? I don't think so. I don't think so.
Well, I got another. How many tacks do I have left? Is this thing done in a sitting position?
Yes.
Yes, yes, and you have 2.5 minutes, panel.
All right. Now, we got it done in a sitting position. It's done in Washington. I won't ask that question. Is it ever done in a movie?
Yes.
Yes, a great deal at times.
During a comedy, something funny.
No.
Well, yes. Oh, yes. I do too. Oh, my, yes.
Bob, when a person is doing this particular thing, do they make noise? Is there noise involved in it?
Yes.
Yes, there might be.
Well, when I'm or any of us are on television, is it possible that we might make people do this thing?
Now, when you say we, Bill, are you referring to yourself or to the panel as a whole? The group as a whole?
He always refers to himself as we. He thinks of himself as royalty.
I see. In other words, your question restated probably is, if I, meaning you, were on television, would people do this while you, Bill Cullen, were on? Is that...
We. Frank. Yes.
Yes, they would.
All right, good.
You got one question left.
All right, I'm going to use it now because I might get a chance.
You have one question, and we have about 1 minute.
Yeah, I might get a chance to demonstrate this. If right this moment I were, just in the interest of science and investigation, if right this moment I were to tickle Joan, would she do this?
I don't know what effect you have. She might. No, I guess not. No, I guess not, Bill. I guess not. That finishes you, young man. All right, Abe, we have 30 seconds, Abe.
From all the argument that the discussion is taking place, this seems to be an act that you do because what you referred to Cullen, Congressman, movies and everything, it seems to be an act of boredom.
Not necessarily.
Well,
Abe.
let's put it in an act that has to do with falling asleep at something.
That might be describing it
Has it got
nicely.
to do with this act of sleep? All right.
Yes.
And you say there's a noise made. Now, what kind of noise do you make when you sleep? You breathe. You snore.
Yes, no, now you're on the right track, and I'm going to have to...
You don't snore?
Well, you might, but I'm
Does it
going to
got to do with a snore?
It has to do with sleep, and I'm going to have to call time, but you were on the right track, and I hate to do this, but I'd like you to meet Will Sleep. I was thinking, Mr. Sleep, the greatest thing in the world would be if you were an insomniac. Are you? Do you sleep well?
At times.
At times. All right. Thank you very much. Go on over there, pick up your checks, and thanks from Swanson for playing The Name's the Same. Nice to have you on the show. We'll be back in a moment, folks, to tell you how our panel did and a little bit about next week's show. All right, let's have some accounting. Bill Cullen, will you make your report? Freckles.
Well, on the shoulder. I lost $75, but it doesn't matter because according to what I learned tonight, everyone's asleep anyway. Good night, everybody. Pleasant dreams.
Joan Alexander, how about you?
I lost $75, and if Bill Cullen tickled me, I would fall asleep. Good night, everybody.
Hey, Buzz, how about you?
I lost $75, and I'm worried about this couple next to me. Good night, everybody.
Good night, panel. Considering everything, I think you did very, very well tonight. So long, folks. For C.A. Swanson and Sons, backers of America's best-known brand of canned and frozen poultry, trying their grapes. The panel and I will see you again next week on The Name's the Same, which will be brought to you by Bendix Home Appliances.
Look who's winning on GSN.
When I found out that I won, the first thing I did was kiss her because she had won the week before.
Let me check these bonus numbers. And I'm like, I won! Called my mom. I said, Mom, I got $50.
50? I said, all right.
Oh, yeah! I won!
Bingo America, tomorrow at 7 p.m., 6 Central.